Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Santoshi Reddy. I help international students on various career aspects such as upskilling, reskilling, and also share my experiences from my time as an international student. I also visit high schools in Australia talking about career prospects for younger generations. In this video, I'm going to talk about 17,000 plus companies that are offering sponsorship visas to New Zealand. And also I'm going to talk about why this visa came into existence and what this visa is all about, and how you can maximize your opportunities to get sponsorship visas to New Zealand. Without any further ado, let's get back into the topic. And this video was already done in Telugu, which is my mother tongue, and I'm doing this in English upon a request from one of the subscribers of my channel, Mohit Sejwal. Mohit, this is just for you. If you like it, please share to your friends and family. And let's get back into the topic of what this visa is all about. Yes, why this visa came into existence. As you all aware, as we all know, that pandemic has created a lot of chaos in different countries, and New Zealand is not an exception to that. And especially countries like Australia, New Zealand, UK, US, and many other countries rely on the migrant workers. Yes, so there's some countries specifically, they rely on the migrant workers, whether it could be a seasonal employment. For example, if they get crops on a particular season, then they get seasonal workers from overseas. The seasonal workers are more, they travel between one country to the other. Unfortunately, India do not have that sort of visas offered, but seasonal workers visas. And also they have professional workers visas, so that is being offered to the professionals outside of the country, and they try to get the sponsorship. Example, doctors, nurses, these ones are on regular basis. Especially in Australia, if you look at, we see a lot of doctors coming on sponsorship visas. Lot of dentists come to Australia on sponsorship visas. So there are so many migrants that come on regular basis, but due to pandemic that didn't happen because of the borders closed. And apart from this, the economy also slowed down, as we all know. And when the economy slows down, automatically the companies do not recruit many employees, because they may not need many employees, because their productivity might be low, or maybe they try to produce less goods and services to meet the demand. So that's what happened during this pandemic. Everything became stagnant in terms of employment. So now the employers are looking to recruit more employees to accommodate, or to improve the economy, or to recover the economy. So that's where New Zealand has taken an initiative to get this visa sorted out before even the demand starts. As we all know, the pandemic is coming to an end. So that's the reason these visas came into existence. And what this visas is all about, this visas talks about accredited employer. Accredited employer is that employer who has been given a status saying that, okay, if you are an accredited employer granted by New Zealand, this status called accredited employer by New Zealand government, that means that as an employer you can recruit people from overseas, you can recruit migrant workers. So that's the aim of this visa. For this, they have to do like couple of tests, like they have to make sure the job check is right, because job check is like pay rates and the conditions of the employment. And also they make sure that labor market test is done. Labor market test is something that they have advertised the position, but they could not get the right person with the right skill set. So that's the aim of the labor market test. So what this test does is it makes sure that New Zealand residents or citizens are ignored. So they are given an equal opportunity by the employers. So this is one of the tests that they have to go through. So after all these tests have been gone through, the employer says, yes, New Zealand immigration, they put an application to the New Zealand immigration and say that this is what we have all done, but we could not find the right person. So you have to help us with this. So what New Zealand government did, yes, you have done they check all the things that the employer has done, then they say yes, we've been given you accredited employer status, and we put in our website that you are the accredited employer. And this is also to make sure that no scams happen with by the companies that are not listed in the accredited employers, or anyone can set up and say that, oh, I'm the accredited employer, but they're not really accredited employer. So that's the reason the immigration department of New Zealand has said that, okay, these are the listed, they have listed 17,000 plus companies which are given a accredited status list. And how this helps you, let's get into this topic as well, how this helps you to maximize your opportunities to get work sponsorship to New Zealand. Yes, for example, if you're working for an MNC and that MNC is in New Zealand, and if it is under accredited employees list, then it's well and good for you. Look for the opportunities if they have any under your industry. For example, if you're working in an IT, or if you're working for accounts or finance or engineering, just look out whether any opportunities for your experience exist in that MNC, in that New Zealand branch. And if it is, then it becomes an easy move for you to move from your country MNC to New Zealand branch. So that becomes very easy because the culture remains the same apart from the geographic location. And the second one is, if you're not working for an MNC, that's fine, well and good. Look up in your industry. For example, you're working in accounts and finance. So I have filtered on accounts and finance. There are lots of companies that come under accounts and finance, and you can shortlist based on what sort of company you want to work for. And if you want to work for a domestic company or you want to work for an MNC, shortlist some of the companies and look for career opportunities in that companies. So if they have more vacancies, or if they have vacancies in your experience or in your skill set, then keep applying for the jobs in that. So that gives you a lot of possibility that you can get work sponsorship to New Zealand. So these are some of the tips that you can follow to maximize your opportunities to get sponsorship to New Zealand. And the third component I would like to discuss is scams. Yes, you have to be very, very mindful about scams, because when the good things happen, the bad things happen at the same time. So just be aware of scammers. And as we all know, scammers are more intelligent than we are, and they know how to entice you, and with the good offers, or with good emails, or with talking about more benefits about these type of visas. So just be aware of the scammers. If you get an email from the company that's saying that, oh, you've been sponsored to work in New Zealand, just make sure that that is the right email that you have received. If you haven't applied, or if you haven't really looked up anything in that company, then that means it's not a right one. So just do your independent research outside. Don't click any links in the email, but do your independent research, and then contact them and ask them that they have sent you any email. So just be mindful of those scams. And the second sort of scam that happens usually is that personal details. Provide your banking details or provide your passport details. Never ever share your details until you meet a representative, face to face, like whether via Zoom or any Microsoft Office Teams or anything. But don't believe, like sometimes even calls you get it saying that, okay, I'm the recruiter. Don't ever believe, because nobody does a formal interview without looking at you. So just make sure that you are dealing with the right employer, and don't ever give any personal details before offering any employment letter. So just make sure that you're dealing with the right people and the right employer. So this is second one that you need to be very mindful of. And the third one that you need to be aware is sponsorship costs. Yes, sponsorship cost is one of the things that employer usually bears them, because I know, like I work for health organization, and there are so many doctors and nurses are sponsored on regular basis, but that's all paid by the employer. So you be careful when somebody asks you to pay a sponsorship cost. Just think twice why they're asking you, because As I said to you, why this accredited employers work visa came up, because they could not find anyone locally and they are trying to get someone from overseas. So that means your skill set is in demand and they want you to work for them. So you have already done all your hard work, you gained your experience in your field of study or field of work. So just make sure that you are not, you just think twice if they're asking you the sponsorship cost, whether you are working for the right employer or not. So these are the things that you need to be very careful about. So in this video I have covered why this visa came into existence and what are the things that you need to do to maximize your opportunities to get sponsorship visa to New Zealand, and also how you should be aware of the scams. Hope you like this video, and if you have any questions regarding this, please let me know. And I've also shared all the links for you to go through the list of those companies and what is the actual process and what it says on the immigration website. So that's all for your information and for all your research. Hope you like this video. If you like it, please share and subscribe to my channel. I'll get back to you with another topic. Until then, bye. Thank you.